Hey, welcome back to God's Glory and Men's Real Stories. I am your host, Robert Moore III, and I'm excited that you would join us today for another great episode. If you're new to this community, I want you to know that you matter here and your story matters, no matter what chapter you're in. So today, I want you to sit back with a community that cares about you and hopes that you feel God's love as well as see God's glory in men's real stories. So it's exciting to sit down with people I know. But honestly, nothing excites me like sitting down with people I haven't had the opportunity to get to know beforehand. Because what it does is it reminds me of those relationships that I realized are built through stories and conversations. So a few weeks ago, when I was looking at some of the community groups within my church, I saw a brother who did multiple men's groups whose focus was on things like building kingdom men, as well as dealing with like porn addictions and the truths behind it. So I had to invite him down to share his story and understand how he's helping men in the church body. So I want to welcome Jamal Stewart-Cook to the episode. What's going on, brother?
What's up, man? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great.
Yeah. Man, I'm excited to be here, to be honest with you, man.
Yeah. No, it's like I said, it's exciting to sit down with people who I haven't had previous relationships with. Knowing their story already, because now, just as much as this is a surprise to my guests and my audience is listening, I get the surprise factor of like, whoa, get out of here.
Like, who this dude over here, right?
Yeah. So it's like, we're all going to get something we're all going to receive from this episode at the same time. When they listen to it, when I'm sitting here across from you,
right,
it's just going to be a blessing. And I'm looking forward to like really getting to know you. So, you know what? I'm going to start off by giving you an opportunity to just introduce yourself to my audience.
Okay. Let's see where to start, man. Your boy Jamal is what I like to, how I reference myself, right? Your boy Jamal. Anyway, man, married now for 24 years, bro.
Okay.
3 children.
Congrats.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
25th is going to be the turn up, by the way.
Okay.
3 children and 1 grandchild, bro. So 46 years old, man.
Nice.
Yeah. We're moving right along.
So what's the ages of your kids?
So let's see. The oldest is 26. That's my daughter.
Okay.
Son is 22.
Okay.
And then the youngest is 16. Is a girl.
Gotcha.
And so
nice.
it's the
nice.
First 2, man. We were trying to like build the family, and then the third one is just what they call God's Abrahamic miracle.
So true. They don't always look at it that way, but it very much is that way. It is either a miracle, a blessing. It's a miracle or a blessing, but one way or another, no matter how other people want to describe it, it's like, yo, listen to me. You play a huge role in this family.
So my wife always says that she completed the family, but man, let me tell you something. I was good with the boy and the girl, and then I was like, sprinkle some of that on that. Just sprinkle a little bit of
Go ahead, keep the party going. We're gonna add one more to the mix. Yeah. Let's keep the party going.
It is what it is, man. She's a lot like me.
Okay.
And I was not prepared for that.
Wow.
Yeah, she's something.
You know what? Okay, so that's funny you said she was a lot like me, but I wasn't prepared for that, because I recognize that normally when people face themselves outside of themselves, it starts to tell you who you are, even when you didn't want to address that.
There's a lot of, so she looks, and I mean looks exactly like my mother.
Oh,
okay. Now
I have that one too,
dude. She looks so like everybody sees it. All my cousins, all my mom's sisters, everybody, they see it. So like, may she rest in peace. By the way, like when she was around, they was like, that was her girl. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy, man, that you get this wake up call one day. And you're like, I'm looking in the mirror, the embodiment of me in female version.
Right.
What am I supposed to do with this? Because I don't want to stifle it, because you like everything about you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, man, I can't pull back on it, but man, she's a lot.
Right.
Personality wise, like just everything. And none of it has slowed down.
Right.
16 years old and none of it has slowed down, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So what got you into the space that you're in, with just wanting to create space or create groups for men? Like what put you in that space?
Man, if I could give it to you as raw as possible.
Okay.
I didn't want to be here. Let's just be
Okay.
Number one.
You know what? All right. So
okay, let's just
thank you for just saying that, because so many people think that some people choose these spaces where it's like, man, I couldn't wait to be able to preach or say stuff to people, and it's like,
that ain't my ministry, bro.
Okay.
I'm telling you that right now, dog. Like if I could have lived life not being here, I've been very happy. The way that I got here, I don't wish on no one. Okay? I don't wish on not a single person.
Okay.
But the work that I do, I recognize the importance of the work that I do. Okay. So just so that we're clear, I run a men's e-group for Elevation Church.
There he is. Yep.
Okay. The men's e-group is on Tuesdays. We have a ball, man. It's all online.
Okay.
Right? So we do Zoom for our stuff, right? Then on Thursday, I have what I consider my AA meeting.
Okay.
Okay. That's my AA meeting, and it's for porn addicts.
Okay.
Okay. But I want to be clear. I was formally diagnosed as a sex addict. Okay. And that sex addiction over time turned into a porn addiction. So how did we get there?
Well, we're gonna have a good conversation today. Well, listen here. I don't know if you came for this, but here we are, and we about to okay. So, and I love how when people say things, it's like, well, I don't have to figure out what my next question is. We can just kind of like roll into like your story, how you got here, and what led you to where you didn't want to be. Because I like how you said that I didn't necessarily want to be here, but there's always someone who calls us into spaces that we don't feel either we don't feel like we're supposed to be in that space because we don't have the qualifications. We don't feel like we're enough for those people to be able to pour into them because we're still a mess ourselves. And so I've learned that that's in those spaces, that's where God's like, no, you're perfect. Because see, in the space you're in right now, if you weren't in that space, you wouldn't truly be as effective as I know you are right now. Absolutely. Because of what you've either gone through or what you're currently going through.
Dude, so let me just say that for many years, I was able to eloquently speak to people in a different way than what they were normally used to. Young black men, at least where I'm from, San Diego, California, they would speak. And so from what I've always been told, people have had a high favorability of me when it comes to what they think I can do or what they think I could bring to the table.
Okay.
My mom, something that my mom, she let me know this, right? But in the background, I was suffering. Okay, so as a young man, mom, dad, do the doo-wop, have me, okay? right, and then they do the doo-wop again and have my brother. He's 3 years younger than me.
Okay,
my brother was 6 months old when my parents split. Okay, I was 3 at the time, so 3.5, 6 months. My dad, who was originally from Memphis, Tennessee, decided that he didn't need to do anything with me or my brother. Now, I'm telling you this story as someone who has the revisionist history and has done the work to get the healing, right? But at the time, what I didn't know is that there was a huge hole in my heart with my daddy not being there. From everything that I was told, when I first was born, my dad used to take me everywhere with him. Basketball court, shopping, everywhere. I was his right-hand man. So there's a connection there that I have with this man. Now, I don't know it. I'm a baby. But I'm building a connection with this dude. Well, he's gone now. And so for the next 9 years, it's just me, my brother, and my mom in that hole in my heart. You catch what I'm saying? Yeah. So now my mom, she remarries to a really good dude. By the way, he's my father. I call him my dad. Okay. My stepdad, however you want to look at it, but that's my guy. Right. Okay. He is one of the best men I've ever met. Seriously. he takes on 2 boys. Right?
Yeah.
Single mom, 2 boys, right? But he ain't Bobby Stewart. You catch what I'm saying?
Okay.
So he can only fill so much of a gap.
Right.
Because I still have this longing for
your biological.
Okay. So now, as someone who has a hole and you don't know that you have a hole, you start acting up. Start getting a little rowdy. You have a really bad attitude. I had a horrible attitude, especially when it came to sports. I was pretty gifted as a youth. Played a lot of baseball. Was pretty good at baseball, right? But whenever I lost, bro, you would have thought that somebody like just clocked me in the face.
So hold on, let's hold on. So let's pause there just for a quick second. Okay. So I like how you expressed that, like, because of the hole, it created a really bad attitude. Now, a lot of times people are diagnosed with this thing where it's like, yeah, he's a great athlete, but he just has a bad attitude sometimes. But see, nobody actually unpacks a story of the attitude. They just think that it's a flaw of where he's from or what. They never look at the story from a standpoint of like, okay, let's process where that attitude came from.
Or they call it competitive.
Yes, like competitive edge. That's just he's getting that from other athletes he's watched. He picks that. A lot of people try to say you pick it up from TV because of what you've seen other athletes act like. But what I've learned is that a lot of times there's a story behind every little thing that's showcased in a person. Yeah, and I don't care if you're like 15 or if you're 45. Yeah. There's a story behind every little thing that you're showcasing to people. So no, I'm gonna let you keep going, but I just had to point that out because I recognize that so many people are quick to just like write people off without understanding where those little weird, those things that they like to say, well, he's going to be a menace or he's never going to amount to anything, without truly understanding what's happened or where that may be coming from, even if that kid doesn't know where it's coming from. Because in most cases at our ages, we didn't know where these things were coming from. It was something that I tell people, it was our hurt and our anger having a tantrum. That hurt that we didn't quite know how to put words to, it was having a full-on tantrum. And it was showcased in your attitude and different things. And like I say, a lot of times we don't know how to say, well, yeah, no, this is coming because I'm angry because of this. Bro,
I have cousins right now, to this day, I'm 46 years old. I have cousins right now that will not play like board games with me. Okay, that's how bad my attitude is.
I think those are my cousins too. I know.
Like a bad attitude, bro. Like really bad, right? So like I said, about this time I'm 12, maybe 14 years old, and I'm like, I need something, and I don't know what it is, but I need something, and I'm starting to like really feel the ladies. At 14 years old, right? I'm like really feeling the ladies, and I'm in junior high school, and you know, you see them.
I mean, it was not hard to see them, and they stood out, and they had your full attention.
Yes, sir. And so, like about this time, also, I say, remember back in the day, you used to have those cable boxes, and you could go to like Skinamax, but you couldn't see it. Like, have all the squiggly lines, but you thought you was gonna see something though.
Yo, get out of here, bro! I want to talk about that. All right, saying, like I've tried to forget about those moments. I didn't do that. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Hey man, I was King Skinamax, bro. Like I was like, if you just hit it in the middle, right? Like you can, you know what I'm saying?
You might be able to catch something on the that's enough. That's enough. That was enough.
Yeah. So then I was trying to catch all of it, and it was like, oh, this is exciting to me. Like this is really like piquing my interest, right? So as things get going, and I'm getting older, and I'm starting to feel the ladies, and they're letting me touch them. They're letting me touch them, right? Like I'm like, yo, like this is the thing. But my mom, she's like heavy duty Christian dog. Right. And so my mom is rebuking everything. She's like blocking it better than Bruce Lee, right? You know what I'm saying? And so like I had to like really like sneak around and stuff. Now I ain't had sex at this point, but I'm like really heavy into these ladies, right?
Right.
I still got this hole. I don't know about this hole.
Right.
I feel this need for something. When I was 16 years old, got my own car, and I actually have a pager. I don't know if I don't know if your audience remembers.
I mean, hey, look, we definitely grew up in the same era. The pager, that was what everybody's the pager and the sidekick. I think was a thing.
Yeah, so I got this pager, man, and I get this number, and I'm like, who is this number? So I call it back, and it's like Jamal, and I'm like, yeah, who this? It's like, this is Bobby Stewart, it's your dad.
Oh, wow.
Excuse me? Like, I'm gonna back up just a little bit. When I was 12 years old, my dad came around the 4th of July, stayed 2 weeks, and then bounced again. The reason why he came, I've come to find out, is because he was trying to get my mom back, but my mom was already engaged, about to be married. So that was dead and bounced. So I remember last saw my dad when I was 3.
Right.
He showed up for 2 weeks trying to get my mom back when I was 12. And now I'm 16 years old, and this dude is like, hey, it's your daddy. And I'm like, well, where are you at? Come to find out, bro, he's literally living down the street from the church that I attended.
Okay, wow. Okay.
Okay.
All
right.
Whew. Okay, well, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna let you just go there because I got a lot of questions, but no, I'm gonna let you tell the story.
He's living down the street. So I'm like, I need to come and see you. But in my mind, the reason why I needed to come see him is so I could punch him in his face. Because how dare you, bro? Like, why don't you care about me?
So I mean, at this point, how old is this hole in your heart?
Oh man, this is what, 13 years.
13 years, yeah.
I'm
so at least 10 years old.
At least
10-year-old hole.
Yeah, at least, right? So I go over there and I call my mom and was like, this is what happened. Go. Bro, she pages me. My mom never paged me. She pages me. I'm like, what does she page me for? I pull over. She says, I need you to stop moving right now because I know you have a lot of emotion going through you. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, I was shaking. I mean, had the jitters, bro. And she's like, let me talk to your dad first. So I give her the number. She calls, talks to him. 30 minutes later, she calls me back and says, okay, you can go over there now. To this day, I don't know what she said. Okay. So I go over there and I see him. My dad's 6'4", skinny as a whip. All right. And he wasn't looking healthy. All right. And the only thing I could ask him is, why didn't you never come back for me? And you know what he said? Sometimes you just got to figure things out for yourself. What the hell is that, dog? What the hell is that? You know what I'm saying? So
just ain't gonna cut it, bro.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So like now, like this dude who I really wanted to punch in the mouth because I was so angry, but I was so happy that he was here, but I was so angry. And I got all these mixed up emotions.
Yeah.
It's just out of the blue.
Yeah.
Right? So come to find out, my man was actually staying with a lady who I knew who was in my life, who I would see every Sunday. He was staying with her family. Bro, to this day, I got feelings about it. Right?
Wow.
So whatever, cool. It is what it is, right? Why she held, you know what? Sometimes people got to stay in their own business, and maybe that's what she felt she had to do. Cool. All right. So I saw him maybe for another 2 weeks, and then he just kind of went back home to Memphis, Tennessee.
Wow.
So I kept up with his mother, my grandmother, and I would visit her and talk to her, and I found out that he had went home and got married to some young girl who had a son who I think just needed him for his benefits because he was in the Navy. And there was just nothing there. So 18 years old, and I go to my parents take me and my brother and a little bit of my family to the Virgin Islands for a graduation gift.
Okay.
I get a phone call my mom gets a phone call from my cousin who has just been informed that my dad is dead. So at 18 years old, I've seen this man 3 times. No questions answered at all. And now I'm getting the news that he's dead. And it broke me as if I had saw him every day of my life. Okay? Broke me, bro. Now, during that time, my mother's mother was dying as well. So I have this dude who I wanted to be in my life who was dying, and this lady who was one of the best people I've ever known is dying. Right? So I have all this loss and I have all this emotion.
Right.
And nowhere to go.
Right.
Now it's time for me to go to college.
Oh, wow.
It's time for me to go to school. All right. And so I end up at A&T from San Diego because I wanted to be an engineer and I wanted to go to the best school for black engineers. By the way, Aggie Pride, everybody. So, you know what I mean? Like,
right,
it's just,
we're going to go ahead and turn them cameras off now.
you know what I mean? So it is what it is, right? and now I just want to be clear. I have this hole.
Right. I was just about to get back to like, okay, so wait, the hole's still there.
It's
Matter
still
of fact,
there.
it's probably at this point, it's probably a lot bigger, even though you would think, okay, it's the same hole. No, because now the hole has been created, but everything probably in your mind that could resolve that hole, that
It's
could
gone.
fix that hole
It's gone.
is gone.
It's gone, dog.
And so okay, yeah, I'm just gonna slow down. I'm gonna let you get back to it because I'm sitting over here like, whoa.
So this is what's important to know is that like anything that somebody is dealing with, you learn to live with it, right? Mm-hmm. So
Survive with it.
You surviving, right?
Yeah.
All right. And sure enough, I figured it out. I obviously, as you get older, you learn to control your emotions. You don't have as many temper tantrums, right? Mm-hmm. But it's still there.
Right.
Okay. Go to school. First day on campus, I see this girl. I was like, "Oh my God!"
Hold on, let's just go ahead and encompass something. He said the first day on campus, going to A&T, he saw this girl. So as if so like I know I've had guests on here before that broke down the ratio at A&T. So no, he saw a bunch of girls. He saw a bunch of girls because the ratio of women, and I don't know what it was then, but I only 10 to 1. 10 to 1. 10 women to every one man.
Yes.
Yeah, he saw a girl. He definitely saw a girl.
But here's the thing. I saw the girl. In my eye, she was the girl.
The girl.
The girl. All right.
I love how you said the girl because everybody has that story of the girl.
All right. So I'm telling you, by day 3, and this is no lie, by day 3, we was kicking it every day. All right. Because I wasn't going to let this one slip.
Okay.
Right. So, man, boom. We together all the time. Everything is good. I'm not really going to class because a freshman in college playing baseball at A&T.
Yeah. Say less. Say less. Everybody that's in college, they're like, yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, so hold on. Okay, you know what? We'll come back to that. Keep on going.
And by the way, I'm going for an engineering degree, but I hate engineering. So I'm like, man, I gotta find something else to do because I don't like this get down right now.
So listen, what that, if nothing else, what that should tell all of you that are headed off to college, considering college, know that you don't feel bad if you get to college and realize that what you want to major in, what you thought you wanted to do, it may not still. I think I went through the same thing, and which is why they normally give you these 2 years to try to figure it out, you know. And they say, well, you don't have to choose a major right off, because all of y'all are going to take the same classes, right? But if you wait, you know, maybe you'll get an idea of what you want to do, and because I don't think I knew what I wanted to do in my first 2 years, and then eventually I was like, well, you know what, I had this little love for computers, and so you know maybe I'll turn that into a degree. But no, I love it. I'm glad you pointed that out.
The first semester was intro to engineering, and I realized in class number 1, I was like, no. So yeah, I'm not lying, probably do 7 majors before I settled on business management.
Okay.
Right. But that's a whole nother story. Let's get back to
let's get back to this story.
We
want
girl,
this one.
right?
Yes, the girl. Okay.
So mess around, and I'm like, we're together all the time, chilling, whatever. And school year is over. Now, at the time, we have phones, but really, if you want to contact somebody, you're sending letters, bro.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You're sending letters. She's from Teaneck, New Jersey. I'm from San Diego, California. You couldn't pick two ends of the country to be further away from, bro. Yeah. So, I mess around and mind you, I love this girl, right? I love this girl, but I'm back at home. It's the summer. I got biddies. You know what I mean? So I do my summer thing. She does her thing. Come back together, and we agree. Whatever happened over the summer is dead.
Oh, wow.
We agree.
Wow.
Whatever happens over the summer is dead. We are 100% committed to each other. We're not playing.
Let's not worry about that. We're going to scratch that and keep it moving.
Hey, I don't
even want to talk about it.
Dog.
I don't want to hear about yours. You don't have to tell me about yours.
I didn't hold it against her. She didn't hold it against me. We going forward.
Got it.
Boom. Right.
Got it.
So we're all the way in, or so I thought. So one day, I think I was walking to the library, and the homegirl is like, "Hey, you and Kareem are still together?" And I said, "Yeah." Why you ask that? And she was like, "Oh, because I saw her at the mall with this dude." And I was like, "Okay, now I'm building somewhere because this speaks to the whole." Okay.
Oh, yeah, it does. I'm already feeling it. I'm feeling anxiety right now just as you tell this story, because it's like, oh, not you too.
Dude, I have trust issues as is.
Yes.
And I don't let nobody into my heart, because here's the thing, my dad broke my heart.
Might I add this?
Please.
On top of breaking your heart, there may have been this thing called abandonment that you felt strongly about.
Absolutely.
On top of the broken heart.
Absolutely.
Because I've learned that a broken heart can encapsulate a lot of things. It's like, okay, well, what does that encompass? What are you heartbroken from? How does it feel? How would you describe it? Yeah. And so as you break them down, with me having a similar story of like, okay, father not there in my life. So it created this thing of this void of like, I felt abandoned. And so if I can do anything about it, going forward, I'm going to make sure that people don't abandon me. So I'm going to do things to keep people from abandoning me. All right.
So I'm slowly but surely introducing you to the 80-20 rule.
Oh, okay.
Slowly but surely.
My man's got an 80-20 rule. I'm excited.
But surely introducing. So, man, I mess around and she comes back, and I see her getting out the car with this dude back on campus.
Oh my goodness, so it's true.
And I'm livid. And listen. Everybody who knows me know I'm loose with my tongue. All right, I'm a cusser. I'm a sailor in that manner. Okay. But boy, that day, I ain't never let loose the way I let loose, because your boy was hurt. I was hurt.
And I'm sure it was hurt on top of old hurt that you've been carrying. So guess what? Actually, I'd saved this cussing out for my dad. But guess what?
You getting it.
You getting it today.
Yeah.
On top of what you was gonna get.
Yeah, man. So right. I let it fly. Now, mind you, this was a week before my birthday that this happened. So, boom. I'm like, I'm done with you. I don't want to lose my life, like everything. I'm done with you. So I go back to the room. My roommate let her in the room. I'm like, why are you letting this chick in the room? I don't want to see her, blah, 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 whatever. Decide that I would let her treat me for my birthday, because she really wanted, she was like, please just let me take you out for your birthday. Cool. Went to my birthday thing, and that was it. I was done with her, bro, because I couldn't trust her. Right. But the hole in my heart. So I was like, this is the second time that I've had like serious heartbreak. And it was at that moment that I was like, never again will I give anybody my whole heart. Okay, I'm 20 years old, and I'm saying as a 20-year-old, never again will I give somebody my whole heart. So you can get 80% of me, but that 20 is my reserve. That way, when you break me, I won't be all the way broken.
Right.
Okay.
And that's what's crazy is that you gave him 80. Like I'm sure there's men like, bruh, I wouldn't even give him 80.
Yeah.
80 is actually too much because it's hard to come back with 20%. That's a struggle. That's like a cell phone when it hits 20% and you like, all right, I got to find a charger. Like most of us, we panic the second it hits red and hits that 20%. But no, that's
so. I just want to throw a quick PSA to parents.
Okay.
A quick PSA, right? And I'm not speaking to no camera. I'm speaking to you.
Right.
Through, right?
Right.
I understand that life is hard. I really do. You have children on this earth. You be in their life. Because what you're creating is a whole bunch of 80-20 kids. Okay? And it shows up in different ways. But what you don't want is your actions to put your kid at a disadvantage that they don't even know is coming. Okay?
Okay.
Talk to
Okay.
me.
So yeah, I was about to say, man, okay. Okay, on this journey I've been on where, first of all, I 100% agree with what you just said. And I wish there was a way to enforce that, because there are so many parents, and I don't want to just feel like putting this on men. You know, there are women, there are mothers as well, who, because of their own hole in their heart, however they got it, they either didn't feel like they were worthy enough to be a parent. They didn't feel like they were good enough to be a parent. They didn't feel like they would succeed at it. I mean, there's so many different things, and I'm not trying to make excuses for them, but because I have been on the other end of it, but I've realized that in order to start to shrink that hole that I had, man, this was hard. So I'm not even gonna sit here in front and act like, oh yeah, just forgave and like forget. You know, I told a guy that sat here one time, I said, man, yo, forgiving is not something that you may find yourself doing one time. You may find yourself having to forgive, and then you think about it and forgive. Right. And then you see a picture and forgive. Yeah. And you're forgiving like over and over again, because it's not that you're doing it, as I've told people, for them. You're doing it because every time you forgive, you're causing that hole to shrink, because what you just saw, what you just experienced is wanting to expand it. And the forgiving part is for you. Yep. Because it's to allow you to release,
to grow
yes, from what happened to you.
Yes.
But I know that just sounds like, oh yeah, let's just do, and it's not as easy as it sounds, because the rage is a lot stronger.
It's real.
than the release. And yeah,
Hey.
Bro, you speaking. My man, it's crazy how I sit here and I have to listen to people tell me my story. Some people think this podcasting job is easy in this situation, but listening to my story on the other end, it's like I'm sitting over here forgiving.
Yeah.
Because I've been there and I know what that feels like.
Yeah, man. So like literally now I do want to back up just a little bit.
Okay.
As a youth, I've always been in church. Matter of fact, I was so in church that I was the youth fellowship president. I was the youth choir president. I was the youth choir vice president. I was junior brotherhood president. I was churched.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You was in there.
I was in there. All right. So I want to lay that groundwork for later.
Okay.
All right. So back to who used to be the one. And as she's broken my heart, and I've put up this 80-20 rule, life started sucking because I wasn't willing to open myself up to the possibility of being hurt. I was just kind of lonely. Right. And I met a couple people and, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just wanted them for their body could give me.
Right. But I bet it was it even harder? Not harder. Was it? It was probably hard to even make friends with men.
So what's funny is I had a guy who went to high school with me in San Diego who ended up going to A&T as well. By the time I had moved out of the dorms, me and him we're still buddies, right? And we had moved out, and it was pretty much just, that was my guy, and he was like pretty much the only dude, but he was doing his thing. Like, he's living his life and doing it the way that he needs to do it, right? So we're kind of on different spectrums at that point.
Right.
So really, it was just me in Greensboro, North Carolina, away from my family, depressed. Now, when in my junior year in high school, I had a girlfriend, and my rule in high school was Jamal can only date somebody for 1 year because you're going places and you don't want anything to stop you from going places. So I would always find a reason to break up with somebody after a year, right?
So you can be in control of the full situation, so that regardless of what they may do. Oh man, okay. Okay, I'm gonna let you keep going. Okay. Yep.
All right. But me and her stayed friends.
Okay.
All right. So we stayed friends, and even when I'm A&T at friends, but I come home, we kick it, whatever, and eventually we became like best friends. But mind you, we were just best friends. She was still doing her thing. She ended up with the dude, and my 26-year-old child was born before me and her got together.
Okay.
Right. So she was doing her thing. Right.
Right.
So we would talk every day. And at the time I was dealing with a young lady that I kind of worked with, whatever. She went to A&T too, but I was kind of dealing, and she wanted to get with me, but I wasn't willing to pull the trigger. Okay. I just wasn't willing to pull the trigger, bro. And it was because of that. I still was hurting. Matter of fact, I'm going to keep it a buck. From the age of 20 to 22, I was probably suicidal. Okay. I was probably suicidal.
And then what year was this? What year was this when you were in college?
This was 90. I went to school at A&T from 95 to 99.
Okay.
So this is about 97-ish when this is starting to happen here.
Okay. So like your
junior like year. Early junior year.
Okay.
And I'm messing with this girl, but I'm like not willing to go into a relationship with her.
Right.
So sure enough, man, eventually after some time, I'm like, bro, like, why are you tripping? Like, this girl, she digs you, you know what I'm saying? And you keep turning, not necessarily turning her down, but just saying you're not willing to take that step.
Right.
And one thing I will say this about women, if you as a dude have someone who's a good woman and you know is a good woman, but you just ain't ready, play that game as long as you think you want to, but you're going to lose out on that prize.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm jumping in now. Okay, wait a minute. Now, okay. So, wait a minute. Like, okay. Now, this is women. I got you now because I feel you on that side.
Right.
But see, I think the problem with that though is that you can recognize you have a good woman. But you can also recognize that something's not right with you. Like you're not right.
Absolutely.
And so what happens is men will overlook that something's not right within. I don't want to commit, and I can't explain it. But I got a good woman, so I don't want to lose her. So I'm going to bring her into this life called my dysfunction now.
I hear you.
Because I don't know how to deal with what is going on with me. So you know what? Maybe if I take her on, maybe she can help me deal with this.
Absolutely.
And maybe if I take her on, she'll help me overlook and patch up all this hurt, and she'll be the patch.
But your mate is not supposed to be your therapist.
She's not.
She's not supposed to be.
But when you're bleeding, now you're bringing somebody in to bleed all over.
Absolutely.
And you're exactly right. It's not her job to be your therapist. It's not your job. Her job to come in and fix your problems.
Nope.
Because the truth of the matter is, she's coming into that situation with issues herself. Even though she's not telling you that, she's got her own story of a big hole or a small hole, but it's a hole there regardless that she's got to deal with. And the truth of the matter is one thing she definitely don't want to do is deal with your hole in the midst of not dealing with her own.
Bruh.
So let's see who can push each other away the quickest, because I chose, like don't get me wrong, I agree with you. But and maybe I may not ever get back to you, but I'm going to take you on because I don't want to lose you, but I may lose you anyway because of what.
It's because of who you are, right?
Yes.
So here it is, man. So sure enough, she's having a birthday party. She's got her own spot. She got a roommate. She's having a birthday party.
All right.
Me and my best friend talk every day, right? So she knows about this lady, right? So I'm like, yo, I think I'm going to tell her that I want to give it a try.
Okay.
All right. This is after months and months of her being like, hey, like, why are you tripping? You in my bed. You in my bed every night, blah, 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 whatever, right?
Okay.
Cool.
So you already doing that.
Yeah, it was already there, right? So cool. All right. So she's having his birthday, and mind you, I haven't relented at all on my position. But that night, I was going to surprise her, tell her this is what it is. Okay. So I go to the party.
Oh, no. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. All right. Don't tell this story, man. Don't tell this story. I don't want to hear it anymore, bro. Go ahead. They want to hear it, though.
So I go to the party, and when she comes in, she's with another dude. And I was like, oh, okay. All right.
Bro, your heart is only so big. I just want to point this out. Like the hoes that have already been there, bro, I'm tired of seeing you suffer through your story, but I'm going to let you finish. But I'm sitting over here like, no, it's a train wreck. I see it coming.
Yeah. So I got extremely blasted that night. And then I tried to go lay in her bed, which is the bed that I laid in a lot of nights. And she came in and she says, what are you doing in here? And I'm like, yo, I'm drunk. I'm just like, laying where I normally. And she says, you can't be here tonight.
Oh, no.
Cool.
I forgive you.
And I said, you know what?
I forgive you.
You right. I drove home. And that night, who do I call? My best friend. Because I'm like, it has happened again. 3 times my heart has been broken, right? And so
wait, whoa. But you had the 20% though, right?
Hey, man.
How did that 20% serve you in that moment, bro?
So I'm talking to my best friend.
Okay.
And I'm like pretty much laying out the whole story, what happened, everything like that. And we're just talking, and mind you, I'm pretty blasted, right? And I say in the conversation, I said, man, the only person I feel like I can halfway trust is you. If I asked you to marry me, what would you say? This was that night, bro. This was that night.
You were blasted.
That night.
Whoa. I mean, or you laid it out there, I
was like,
this sounds like the typical story of the guy in the club, whether we witness it in the club or after the club, where it's just like, wait a minute, you did what? Tell me you didn't do that.
Right. So she says, wait, are you serious? And I said, yeah. What if I asked you to marry? What would you say? And she goes, I guess I would say yes. And I said, okay. And went to sleep. Wake up the next morning, she calls me and she says, hey, I don't know if you remember what you said last night. I said, no, I remember everything. I know I asked you to marry me. You said yes. So Christmas break comes. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me not fast forward too fast, because then the next day, guess who wanted to talk?
Oh, of course. She wanted
to talk.
Get
right?
out of here.
I have nothing to say to you, right? So what I told her was, listen, talk to me in a week.
You know what? Actually, let me take that back, bro. Because there are going to be a ton of people who are like, well, I mean, you had all the time in the world. You missed out. You should have taken. You should have just scooped it when you saw. But see,
she moved forward, right? She moved forward. So
right.
I said, I'll talk to you in a week.
Yeah.
And a week comes, and she's talking, and she was like, She said, you hurt my feelings, and I really want to be with you, and I just wanted to feel full that night. And I was like, I told her, I said, I came over to ask you to be my girl, but we're cool. I got a fiance now.
Oh,
because then I was just being, and just forgive me, I was being a dick.
Petty Piper.
Yeah, bro.
Boy, let me tell you about you, boy. You took the cake on that one, brother.
Yeah, and the tears was going, and I was like, whatever. Whatever. You can leave my house now. Like, yeah, I was mean. I was extremely mean. Yeah. So now we can fast forward.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So Christmas comes, or actually before then, I wanted to like make things official, right? And so, I went to, those little spots that they have in the mall where you can, the jewelry stores or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And making no money, but I put a engagement ring on credit. With no money, and it was real then. It was real. Yeah, it was real.
Wow.
Okay, so yeah, man, like the worst engagement of all time. The worst like meet proposal of all time. That is. Yeah.
Not for me to say. I think that you were trying to slow down the bleeding.
It was the worst proposal of all time, bro. It just is what it is, man. It is what it is. So. Sure enough, boom, get married. I do 4 years at A&T, literally had 12 units to go, and was like, I don't want to be here no more.
Wait.
Yes. I literally had 12 units to go, and told my mother, who spent all her money to get me from San Diego to Greensboro, North Carolina, I'm done with school. Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna step in real quick, and then you tell me if I'm wrong here. Mm-hmm. This story sounds very familiar to me, and it sounds familiar because I recognize how that emotion fuels decisions. Mm-hmm. And when you allow emotion and feelings to fuel decisions,
yes, sir.
Man, listen to me. I'm not saying they're all bad, but I'm saying that you get to a point where you look back and you be like, I probably should have breathed a little bit,
just a smidgen.
I probably should have let some of the air out. I probably should have processed where this decision was coming from, so that I could now say, is this really what you want to do, or is this really what you're wanting to prove?
Bro, I need you to put your seatbelt on right now.
All right. Let's strap up.
When I tell you the ride that I'm about to take you on,
I can only imagine.
All right.
And man, right.
Let's go. We just getting to the meat
now. Okay, let's do it.
You needed to understand all that other stuff.
Okay.
In order to get the meat.
Okay, got it.
Okay. So, married at 22 years old, July 17th, 1999. Okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't 6 months before I was cheating.
And there we have it.
It wasn't 6 months. I was cheating.
Okay. All right.
On a regular basis. All right.
Now, I'm just for those who are going to say, well, wait a minute, why were you cheating? Why would you ask her to marry you if you were going to cheat? Like, why that? Why are you cheating? And maybe you're going to get into that story.
To be honest with you, as I had no business being married.
Okay, well, yeah.
I mean, that's just
a simple answer.
I
that's
not emotionally
facts.
in a place to be married to anyone.
Right. Nope. I would actually disagree.
Okay, talk to me.
I'm going to tell you who you should have been married to in that moment.
Talk to me.
You should have found a really good therapist.
Yes.
to say, hey, listen,
yes.
This is going to sound crazy, but I don't know how long this may be, but I'd like to get married if you'd be okay with like marrying me right now for however long it takes for me to deal with this here, because the stuff that's going on that I have that goes all the way back to like
3 years old. Yeah.
It's I feel like it's bubbled over, and I am out here
being
trying to backstroke against the waves in the ocean, and I look crazy to people right now.
Yeah, bro. So like literally, I'm out here and I'm like trying to make things happen. I got a full family, a daughter, a married into a full blown family, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
yes, okay, gotcha.
She had a 2-year-old daughter when we got married, right?
Yep.
So my parents just have the best parents ever. And so for a wedding gift, my parents put $5,000 down on the house on a fixed.
Shout out your parents.
$5,000 down, and this
real
what
MVP.
What they said was, when you sell this, because it's a fixer upper.
Oh, okay.
When you sell this, you owe us our $5,000 back.
Okay, so they invested in you. I love that. I love that. Invested
in me. All right, cool. So we got this house. And the mortgage we thought was just way expensive. It was $690. And we were just like, that's just way expensive. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm making like $9.50 an hour, right? And it was just a lot. So anyway, and by the way, this is $19.99.
Right.
All right. So cool. So I'm doing life, but I'm cheating because emotionally I'm not. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. And I'm working this job. You know, have you heard of Michael's, the like fabric craft store?
Yeah.
So I was a bookkeeper there. A bookkeeper, yeah. Because I'm really good with numbers, and my mom was like almost a CPA for a restaurant back in the day.
So wait, bookkeeper meaning like you kept up with you kept up with the cash register amounts and everything.
Like
that's crazy.
After every night in the morning, I would be there like early, like 5 o'clock in the morning, doing the books.
Wow.
Right. As 22-year-old. So I'm sitting up there and I would listen to radio every day, sports radio in particular. Mm-hmm. And I was like calling in. I was like one of those dudes, and I was kind of gaining a little popularity. And I went to one of the events that one of the shows was at, and I said, "Hey man, how do you do what you do?" And he goes, "Let me take you over to our promotions department and they'll talk." And so I found out that you have to intern in order to get into the radio game. And so I went to San Diego State for a semester just so I could intern at this radio station.
Okay, so you're back in San Diego at this time.
I'm back in San Diego.
Okay.
So I'm interning for a semester, and then at the end of the semester, it was during the summer, by the way. Okay. So at the end of that semester, a job opened up. And so now I'm working promotions. I'm a promotions assistant at the biggest sports radio station in Southern California. All right. Mm-hmm. And so I did that. I was working in radio. And one thing about working in radio is you meet a lot of people, which gives me a whole lot of opportunities to start cheating. And gives me a whole lot of outs because I have to meet the people, and we go to these events and
right.
And we did events all the way up to LA. So from LA to San Diego and everything in between, I had to be there.
Right.
So I'm meeting people and I'm having fun and this, that, and the other and blah, blah, blah. And on college campuses and this, just everything, right? But, still finding enough time to go back home and be a upstanding husband and father and all this other type of stuff. And in the meantime, my wife gets pregnant and I have my son, right? And then we're doing this thing and I'm still doing the radio thing. And after about 2.5 years, after 2 years, what happens is that the radio station's signal is so strong that LA's not getting the ratings that they think they should get. And so they essentially was like, we're getting rid of the station. We're moving it up to LA. So I had to find a job. Well, I was so good at what I did, bro, that the FM station, the pop station, and the hip hop station moved me over there to work with them. So now I'm working at the pop station and the hip hop station in San Diego, right?
Right.
And I'm doing my radio thing over there, and it wasn't but 6 months, and the producer of the morning radio show gets fired. And they're like, the music director at the time is like, I don't know what I'm going to do. If anybody wants to apply for it, write me a paragraph of why you think you should get the job. So I did that.
Right.
And then we had like rounds of not rounds of interviews. We basically got to do radio for a week on the morning show.
Right. Okay.
So there was like 4 or 5 of us that got to do it. And afterwards they picked me.
Right.
So now I started out as this intern, went from an intern to being a promotions assistant, from a promotions assistant to a promotions coordinator, from a promotions coordinator moving laterally over to the FM side of things. From the FM side of things, now I'm actually on the morning show, the hip hop station in San Diego. It's the only one. All right. So now,
so you're that guy now.
I'm there, and mind you, this is my hometown. My people know me.
Right.
So not only do my people know me, and I'm at home, but now I got a bigger audience, which gives me a bigger opportunity to cheat. All right.
I love how everything keeps coming back to
everything
cheating.
Back to
cheating. Yeah.
All right. So, mind you, I'm doing my thing, having a ball, meeting all types of people. Everybody seeing me around because I was like the dude on the street, right? And the producer. And then one of the hosts gets fired. And so I move over a chair. So now I'm no longer the dude on the street. I'm the co-host.
Wow. Okay.
All right. So now we're still doing our thing, and I'm meeting more people, and things are happening, and I'm cheating. And then the host leaves and goes to Phoenix.
Okay, so like this is like watching a flick where if you're seeing it from a fly's point of view, you're like, oh no, please don't give him that host's position because he's already really bad. He's already a monster with this. Yeah. And I mean, like, what is your wife thinking? What is she feeling? Like, do you even know if she was even?
I include her enough in the thing to be inconspicuous. Right. So I'm a cheat, but I'm involving her and my family in enough stuff to where I have plausible deniability.
Wow. So this guy's a professional. So.
I'm a professional a-hole, right?
Yep.
So
yeah.
Now I'm in the chair during the summer. It's me and who used to be the intern and bro, that summer was a ball. Bro. I loved everything about it.
Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Okay. So, like, wait a minute. You can't say that on this show. Because see, like what we're doing here is we're giving God the glory. And how are you doing that? I can't wait for you to get around to
it was a ball, man. It was a ball,
bro. Look, it's that part about it is I'm sitting here and it's like, I know what he's saying already.
Yes, having a ball, man. And then let's see. They bring in another co-host, whatever. And so I did morning show radio in San Diego for like 2.5 years. And it was like just the wildest time of my life, dude. Just the wildest time. At the same time, I started a DJ business, a mobile DJ business with my boy, like it's my brother. Mm-hmm. And we were doing that. And so I'm hitting it on I'm doing my mobile DJ business, and we're doing weddings and parties and blah, 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 and everything like that. And then I'm doing the morning show thing. And so I'm able to promote my DJ business somewhat through and it was just, man, it was an amazing time in my life. And then as radio goes, San Diego, Clear Channel, because that's who I worked for, had too many stations in one market. They were a monopoly. So they had to sell some off.
Okay.
And so, because if you know Southern California, San Diego is right on the border, bro. So a lot of the antennas are actually in Mexico.
Huh.
Yeah. So what happens is that Clear Channel decides that they're going to sell all of the Mexican antenna stations off, which just happened to be my station, one of them. Right. So they sell it off. They bring in new management. And if you know anything about radio or most businesses, new management, new staff. Right.
Sounds like almost like a sports team.
Yeah. So sure enough, bringing in the new management, the music director or pro station director was pretty much, he told me to the face, yeah, I just don't think that you're radio material. After 2.5 years, bro. And I'm like,
wow, I don't know what I've been doing up here. I've just been holding up space. I mean, that's crazy. Yeah.
I've just been sucking my thumb, right? Like, what are you talking about? So I had to, I got a severance, like 3 months, and I had to find something to do. 2000, this is 2005, maybe 2006. And for the next year and a half was the most depressed I had ever been. More depressed than when I had got broken up with. I was just depressed.
Okay. So like this is where and a lot of people I know, and I want you to stop me when you're like, no. I mean, because I could be wrong.
Sure.
But like what I've learned is that you're like, man, I'm depressed, and I'm sure you've realized why you were depressed
now.
Yes,
now, yeah.
Because I recognize that I was in a boat like you one time, where similar story, where I was on a high, and I had now made an identity in what I was doing. I am Rob this.
I'm that dude.
I'm this guy.
At least that's how I feel.
And right. Yeah. Everybody knows me.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden I am sitting here and you all have the power to strip my identity from me.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here, my name's still the same.
Yeah.
But what I do, what I did, you were Jamal the DJ. Now you're just Jamal, and that doesn't make any sense to me because see, I'm a DJ.
I'm a DJ. Bro.
I'm a DJ. So I need y'all need to quit playing. I need to come. So when you don't have an identity,
oh man,
it puts you in a space where who am I?
Man.
And so now as you sit in who am I? Depression sits. Am I wrong about that?
It was horrible, bro.
Yeah.
It was so bad, man. And like because I had a lot of friends. I was at home, right? And because I had a lot of friends, we did enough stuff to keep me up just enough so it what I'm saying?
Keep you from focusing on what the reality of things is.
But I was down, bro. I was selling cars. I was a car salesman and I hated it. I hated every moment of it. And it was just, things were just bad, bro. Marriage was bad. Because my wife, I think, just kind of, she didn't know about the cheating or nothing like that. But she just had enough of whoever this dude was.
The DJ guy or the
guy.
new guy?
No, the DJ guy. She had enough of that dude. Like, he was an ass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just, man, it was a lot, bro. And I, 2000, I'm selling cars. In 2006, Christmas Eve, I get a phone call from my wife. She says, "Merry Christmas, I'm pregnant." I said, "What?"
Oh,
What?
man.
I'm barely making any money right now.
I was about to say, I bet that hit. Like, so, whew. Wow. I'm processing for you right now.
Yeah. like Merry Christmas, I'm pregnant. What? Yeah. So, bro, I'm kind of thrown off, and I'm like, man, I gotta figure something out. So I go to a different car dealership because they seem to be selling more cars, and I'm starting to sell a little bit more cars, and things seem to be turning around. But I hate what I do, and I'm still dealing with this depression, and I'm still a cheat. In 2007, my life changes, and I get an opportunity to start working for the phone company, the big phone company.
Okay.
All right. And I now have a job where I'm making a lot of money, like really good money, and I got a brand new baby. And we're in this house, the house that I grew up in, I bought from my parents, right? And then, those arms that they were selling, those really bad mortgages back in the day. Where those adjustable rate mortgages. Yeah, I got caught up in that, bro, and I lost my house.
Okay, wait. So you got caught up in it, not like doing it, but like you got one.
I had one.
Okay,
and I lost it. I lost my house, the house that I grew up in, bro, and that it deeper into depression, right? But I got this new job, and I got this new baby, and I got these other two kids, and I got this wife, and we just got to figure things out. And so now I'm renting in San Diego.
Okay, so hold on real quick.
Yeah.
Did your wife know that you're depressed? Does she realize that you're dealing with these things, or
I was really good at masking.
Okay,
right. So maybe she did. At the time, my wife really was going along to get along. You know what I'm saying? Like she was going along to get along. She was caught up in her identity as Mrs. Cook and how she could be the best wife and this and that and the other.
For you or for others, so others saw the picture.
For me.
Okay.
But she thought that was her job.
Oh.
Yeah, she thought that was her job, was to be Mrs. Cook and like do all this stuff or whatever. But she wasn't happy. Right? She wasn't happy, and I wasn't doing anything to make her happy.
Because that was never her identity either. That was not supposed to be her identity.
That's absolutely not supposed to be her identity, right? And so now things are going, and I'm finally leveling out, and I am still cheating, and now I'm cheating like in states now.
Okay, so I know people are like listening and they're like, yo, like what's wrong with you, man? Why are you still cheating? Like, and I don't want you to skip part of the story to explain that, but like,
no, but it's important. It's absolutely important. So here's the thing: what the cheating was about at that time was, so I associated my pain, those holes that we were talking about, right? Those were things that like I felt could kill me. Like I would kill myself. Because I remember I told you coming out of school, I was suicidal. I could look back on that and see that now, right? And so in order to get a pick me up, I would cheat, give me that boost, and now I'm back level.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right. It was a fix.
It was a fix.
And some people say, well, you chose, I can't believe you're a cheater. Well, but everybody, not everybody, a lot of people have a fix.
A fix.
It's a momentary fix.
Bro,
it gives you like a high.
What do you think drug addicts do?
They get a fix.
What do you think people who are alcoholics do?
They get a fix.
They get a fix, right? Because they just need that little thing to get them to the next day. Just to the next day.
Right.
For me.
But okay, but think about it. Most people plan on having a lot of next days.
Yes, absolutely.
We don't ever think about that, but we're like, hey, I just need to make it to the next day. Okay, but what about the next, like tons of hundreds of days that you got, like how.
And so, mind you, my household, as it was developed, was really good household. My wife was an extremely really good wife. But whenever we would have those moments where things wasn't going well, right? whenever we'd have those moments, I needed to pick
Fixed
me
time.
up. I needed to pick me up.
Fixed time.
Right? And then I would go moments. And mind you, let me just say this. There were times throughout this entire time that I was cheating where I was just like, bro, like, why are you doing this, dude? Like, get it together. And so as a man, I'm like, well, I can fix it. Because I'm a man, right? I can fix anything, right? And so I would be good for like 6 months, and then that low would get too low, and I needed to pick me up, right? And so it would be things like that, right? And so, mind you, I'm got this nice job, and I got this family, and we're renting now. But and the pastor at my church is a much older man. He wanted me to be a deacon there, and I was like, nah, that's not happening, bro.
Okay, so let's hold on. Whoa, hold on. Wait a minute. All right. Woo. I love how you just finally introduced those two things. Yeah. So all this time now, notice that let's not overlook the fact that he was in church. Because a lot of people think that, like only the perfect and only the righteous and only the people who got their life together, and only that the church can't dare be a hospital, not for people like you, because you couldn't have dare been used by the church. Nah.
I was going
break it
to
down
church.
for him. Tell him.
I was going to
tell
church,
him about it.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was going more because that's what I was used to doing. It was the same church that I grew up in, the same church that I was Junior Brotherhood and all the other type of stuff.
Right.
It was the same church, right? So I knew that I was comfortable there, so I would do that on Sundays. We would go, but I didn't. My connection with God at that moment wasn't. It was surface. It was extremely surface level. Like I knew God, I loved Jesus, and I believed that He was the Savior. Right. But my relationship with Him at that moment was trash. It's just.
Well, okay, so I love how one person one time said, they were like, you're like, my relationship with him was trash.
Yeah.
And a lot of that stems from the fact that this has more of my attention than I can give you. And if I gave you more attention, maybe if I wanted more of a relationship with you, then I'm worried that you're going to convict me of my addiction.
So my relationship with God is the reason why I hadn't left my marriage. It was the reason why I had still kept trying.
Ooh,
right? It was the reason why I kept trying. So I had an example. My parents at this point had been married for a while, and they were strong, at least from what I saw. And so like I saw them making it. I didn't want to be a failure, bro. You know what I'm saying? And so like it was like, man, I gotta figure this thing out. And so like I said, I kept going through these bouts of trying to figure it out. I could figure it out. I'm a man. I could figure it out. But dude, here's the thing. If I have a leaky pipe and I call an electrician, I done called the wrong person to fix the leaky pipe. That's not what they do. In this case, I'm the electrician. You catch what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so I'm thinking that I could fix it because I'm a man, but I ain't got the tools, bro.
I ain't got the tools, man.
Sheesh. You know what I'm saying? So I'm literally just like putting tape on something that needs something else. It needs a spigot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It needs something else, right?
Right.
And so I could fix it for a second for 6 months at a time.
Right. Because what you do during that 6 months, it was almost like a 6 month fast.
That's it, bro.
6 month fast.
So fast forward, man, where things are going, and I'm, like I said, cross country cheating, and somewhere in there, my wife has started picking up on things. That's her story. I ain't gonna tell it for her.
Right.
But she started picking up on things, right? And so now, because technology is so grand, she's like, find your friends, right? And so I'm celebrating my birthday. This is 2015. And I'm celebrating my birthday. This is the week after my birthday, right? And the reason, and I'm telling my wife, well, I can only celebrate then because that's when my boys can go out with me. But really, the chick that I was messing with was able to come into town, right? Yeah, it's some dirt. It's some dirt.
Hey man, look, I ain't gonna lie, man.
Yeah,
Like my wife wouldn't let me hang out with you, bro.
Right.
She wouldn't.
Hey, it was dirty. I was dirty, bro.
No. Just because my story ain't too much better, and you know, it's the crazy thing about it is I'm pretty sure we would have been best of buds because see. People like you, we're attracted to each other.
Yeah.
Because see, we sit in the darkness with our stuff. So we find new friends in the darkness. Like, oh, bro, what you doing here?
You don't like me?
I'm high now.
Yeah, you don't like me?
Yeah. Bro, like And then what we do is we work off each other. Well, look, just give him my number so that like whenever you need a plausible applause, I can tell her like, we were sitting over here like. So we work off each other, but we sit here and we feed each other's ego and to continue to do and addictions to do and I got this girl and she got a friend. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, trash, bro. Trash.
Yeah.
Listen, and I'm gonna keep saying trash, and I know men hate being called trash. But I'm gonna get to that though. I'm gonna get to that. All right, so sure enough, old girl comes into town. And at this time, my wife her GPS is going overload, bro. She's peaking like a mug, right? So what I told her was I was going to, we're going to start at my boy's house. And then from my boy's house, we're going to go to this club. And from the club, going to go back to my homeboy house. She was like, well, why can't you just come home? I'm like, I'm not driving. I'm going to be drunk. Like, you know what I'm saying? They dropping me off. So sure enough, this is what happened. Went to my homeboy house, went to the club, went back to my homeboy house. Why did I go back? Because I didn't even walk out the club. They had to carry me out that club. That's how wasted I was, right? But old girl was there, right?
Along, yeah.
So sure enough, they brought me back, and then I'm like sleeping. So she's checking her thing, and I'm right where I said I was going to be. But out of the blue, at like 3, 4 in the morning, I wake up. And the first thing I'm thinking about is, I need some birthday sex. So I send a text to whom I think is old girl. But somehow that text had my wife was in the text. Like either she was in the text or she saw the thing that I sent the text in. So I go over to old girl's spot. She's at a hotel, do my thing, right? And then I go to sleep. Wake up at like 6:30 in the morning, and I look at my phone, bro, and I have, no lie, 10 missed calls and several messages saying, call me ASAP. I'm like, oh my God, did somebody die? And so I called. I'm like, hey, what's going on? I just saw that. She was like, and I quote, I know where you are. Come home.
Oh, shit.
And I quote.
That's when those friends like me, we just back away. Bro, good luck with that. We'll see you on the other side.
I know where you are. Come home. And so I'm like, oh man. So now I've been lying for 15 years of marriage. Okay. And I had a decision to make. I could literally come up with another lie. Or I could just put it all on the table. And if she leaves, I earned it. And I'll just have to figure it out from there. And so as I'm driving home, I was like, today's the day. I'm gonna stop lying. Like I'm not gonna lie anymore. So I get home and she's not there. And I'm like, that's weird. So I called her and I said, hey, where you at? And she's like, I'm pulling up shortly. To this day, I don't know why I got in that car. She could have had a gun, a knife, anything. She could have took me out, bro. She gets home. I get in the car. She starts driving, and she was like, what's going on? And I start spilling everything. I'm letting it
Now,
all.
where are your kids at right now?
They're asleep. They're in the house.
Okay.
And I'm letting it all out, bro. I'm telling everything. Every question she asked, I answer. Every question. Didn't matter what it was. I answered it straight up. right? Just giving her all the truth. 15 years of truth, bro. She asked me, how many women? I don't know. She asked me why. I don't know. Like just the questions upon questions, right? So then she drops me back at home. She says, thank you for telling me the truth. And I don't see her for a whole day. And I'm calling and I'm texting, bro, I don't know where this woman is at. To this day, by the way, to this day, I don't know where this woman went.
Still don't know where she's at.
To this day. And by the way, don't care. Okay. So sure enough, she comes home and she says to me, I don't know if I'm going to stay with you, but I damn sure am not going to stay with you unless you go get some help. Okay. Now, up to this point, bro, I had tried, I've told you, tried constantly to figure it out. And so I was just like, dog, I don't need no therapy. I can just figure it out. But then I was like, nah, nope. Let me go to therapy. Because when I go to therapy, that gives me a little bit of, I tried everything I could.
Okay.
Right. So now at this point, I'm just like, well,
let me just go so I can say I did it for you. Let me check that off the box.
That's
so if it doesn't work, you can leave me alone about that, and we can just go on, and I can say that, hey, look, I told you.
Tried.
I don't know. I tried. Yeah.
And you left me anyway, but I tried. Right. Cool. EAP programs. By the way, if you have a job and you have an EAP program, I suggest, and you're like, man, I don't know where to start. Start there. Start there. You go to your EAP, use it. You're paying for it.
You're paying for it.
Right?
You're paying for it.
So go, if you have the opportunity, EAP program, and just figure it out. Okay.
Right.
Now, EAP program through the phone company, and I say, I think I need a therapist. Cool. They give me this woman therapist, and I'm like, all right. And she's like, why are you here? And I tell her pretty much everything. The conversation that we're having right now, right?
Right.
And then afterwards, the woman looks me dead in the face, and she says, sounds to me like you have a sex addiction.
Wow.
And I say, ma'am, I hear what you're saying. Ain't no way in hell my wife gonna believe that. So, do you mind if on our next session, I bring my wife with me? She says, sure. Cool. Get home. Wife says, how'd it go? I said, she diagnosed me with a sex addiction. My wife looked me dead in the face and said, shut up. I said, I'm telling you. She said I have a sex addiction. I'm not the one that you wanted me to go here. I went here. This is what they're telling me. But I said, look, I told her you wasn't gonna believe me. So I asked her if you could come to the next session. She said, yeah. So make sure you available this time, this day, boom, 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 right?
Right.
To my wife's, well, nope, let me back up. So she goes to the next session. This is a week later. So she goes to the next session, and when you mess around and you done told somebody something, but they need to find out for themselves. So
right.
You just hold your hand out and be like,
mess around, find out. You want to find out.
Yeah, right? So sure enough, therapist starts talking, tells her everything, answers all the questions. We're done. We go to like a sushi spot afterwards, right? And we're sitting up there talking, and I said, so what do you think? She was like, I think she's lying. I'm like, the therapist? You think the therapist is lying? She was like, I think she's lying. I said, all right, well, I don't know what to tell you, right? To my wife's credit, after that conversation, she did the deepest dive into sex addiction. Books, videos, like she was like literally like Black Twitter FBI. You know what I'm saying? And she literally she looked it up, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm sitting here and I kind of agree with your wife a little bit, because it's to me it's kind of crazy that so far the story you've told me, what she comes back with is you have a sex addiction.
Sex addiction.
Based on the story I've heard, I am not a therapist.
Yeah.
but I have learned a lot about mental health.
Yeah.
And I think the last thing I would ever diagnose you with is a sex addiction.
And so and the reason why my wife bought in was because all the stuff that I took, mind you, I don't know nothing about no sex addiction, and she knew I wasn't doing no studying, right? But all the stuff that I had told her about how I was feeling and what I was going through and stuff like that was all the stuff that was in the books. All those videos that she was looking up, all those things, all the stuff was right there. So she was like, okay, I know you didn't look this stuff up, so there's something to it. And so this is what I did. The next session, therapist was like, what you have is going to take more than 5 sessions. Because, you know, you go to EAP, it's only 5 sessions that will be paid for.
Holy, yo.
Yeah. Yeah. She was like, what you have is going to be more than 5 sessions. You got
so now you're going to have to pay, and you're going to have to come out of pocket, and you're.
If I want to really get it fixed, I got to pay up. And so I was like, at this point, I wanted to be infallible. You know what it was? I wanted to make sure that I gave it everything I had at this point. And so sure enough, I went and found a therapist, was paying money out of my own pocket, the money that I didn't have, but I was doing it. And
you found another therapist.
Found a different therapist.
Okay.
Who specialized in addictions.
Okay.
So I had that therapist, and then I also at the same time had one of the brothers at my church who had went through a similar situation as a mentor, and had another guy who just happened to be a pastor at the blood bank who had a similar situation. Both of them were mentors for me while I was going to a therapist. So I basically had 3 therapists.
Okay, this is wild to me right now. Okay, so so the second therapist agreed that you were a sex addict.
Correct.
Okay, okay.
I'll break it down for you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna break it down for you.
My brain, I'm trying to I'm trying to piece it. And more importantly, I'm sitting here like, so like, was there anything else like, hey, look, and you seem to have a dad wound, or you seem to have a like mom wound, or do you have like just sex addict?
So what it was as we talked about, I needed that pick me up, right? Okay. Well, what addicts do, doesn't matter if it's dope or
okay, right.
Is they get down, they get to pick me up, and then that pick me up becomes the source of their happiness for the moment. And if they
this is how they cope with the real root cause.
It's how you cope with the world, right?
Right.
How I cope with the world was having sex with people that didn't matter, or people who I knew I wasn't going to get in an argument with, because most of the reason why I went down this hole was because I would get in an argument with my wife, or something bad would happen, and my wife, she was dealing with her own stuff, and
but that wasn't the real reason, though. I mean, that triggered it.
It was a trigger.
It triggered.
Right. Those were the triggers.
It triggered.
Right. And so because I had learned to deal with the thing through porn early on as a youth, and now sex, that was the way that I got through life. Right. Had my hit, boom, I'm reset. Now I can go back and do my thing. Boom, had my hit. Now I'm reset. And it's over and over, cycle.
Constant cycle,
just like any other addict.
Yep. And the crazy thing about it is that, you know, and I know you didn't go this route, but you could have switched it over to something else. Let's just say you said, okay, I'm going cold turkey. I'm not doing this. I'm no longer investing or going into the sex area. I'm going to try cigarettes now. I'm going to try smoking.
Could have been that.
You would have had to have replaced it, because, like you said, you tried to fast it out, but what happens is you're triggered back to something. Something has to be done,
and I have to get back level.
And you were coping instead of as I always talk about, instead of trying to heal why you went to it, you were just coping. I gotta have another coping mechanism.
Just
and sex is my main one, right?
Yep. Just getting to the next day.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'm with you.
That's what's happening, and so, as I'm going to the therapist and he's figuring out what's going on, we get back to my dad. we get back to that 3-year-old who never healed, who messed around and missed his dad, who has this hole in his heart. And then it expanded with the one in college. Now she didn't know that.
No, of course not.
Right. But
you were just casualty of war.
Yeah, man. So it's just like, it was those things, right? And I never healed from it. So I'm basically a grown man, 37 years old, carrying around 3-year-old hurt.
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. I'm sitting here and I'm a little pissed at the therapist though, because nothing against the degree and all the work they put in to get to where they were.
Yes.
But anybody, if I knew you and we met, I could have told you, bro, you just addicted to sex. That's all. You enjoy the chase and the thrill and the sex and the hit, and then we go again.
But we wouldn't have put it together like that. We wouldn't have put it together
because
like
if we put it together like that, then that means we have to address it. So we don't put those things together because that means that we're trying to figure it out. And the truth is we don't want to figure it out because then we got to address it.
Well, the difference between me and you talking about it and me and the therapist talking about it is a therapist's job is to find the root of the issue.
That's why I'm sitting over here a little upset right now because all they're doing is like, yeah, you're a sex addict. Thank you. Hold on. I'm not paying anymore for you guys to keep telling me that I'm I can see that whether we call me an addict or just somebody that enjoys sex, yes, I enjoy running to that to cope with this stuff. If that's all you've got.
Well, the therapist did get me. The therapist was the one who got me to the dad issue.
Okay. I was wondering when that was going to happen.
The therapist is the one who brought up the dad issue because it kept showing itself in a way. And finally, he was just like, bro, like, you got daddy issues. Right. And so he's the one that put the pieces together for me. And once he did that, I was able to finish the puzzle. Right. He started the border pieces of the puzzle. Right. And he put those edges together and made the frame of what was going on. And then I was able to sit back and be like, oh, snap. And now, because I got a little bit more tools now. Right. Now I find
that's the beauty of going to a therapist.
Right.
They offer tools that, matter of fact, if nothing else, they start to offer words that you didn't know or you didn't know how to use before to explain things, to give you the tools to be like, okay, all right, I can do this. I can do this.
Yeah, man. And then like I said, I just went all in because I didn't want to be this dude anymore. Now, mind you, I need to back up just a little bit. All this is happening and my mom is dying. So all this is happening and my mom, she ends up succumbing to multiple myeloma, which is a form of cancer, bone cancer, right? And before she died, I was at work and I was feeling a type of way. And my wife was like, if you want to go see your mom, go see your mom. And my mom stayed in Arizona. I'm in San Diego, so it's like a 5-hour drive. So we drove up there, and when we drove up there, me and my mom were talking, and it was just me and her in the room. And one of the last things she said to me was, because she knew about the situation, she was very pissed about it because she loves my wife. She loves my wife, right? And she was just like, be the man that God wants you to be. Right? And I said, what? And she said, be the man that God wants you to be. And I'm like, okay. And we prayed. Then I went home. I went back to San Diego. That night, I felt uneasy, bro. I just felt really uneasy. And my wife was like, you can go back. And so I packed up the kids. I called my dad. I said, hey, man, I got to come back. And he was like, do it in the morning, get you a full night of sleep, leave early in the morning, and then come. We're driving up to Arizona, and we're about an hour away. And my dad calls me, and he's hysterical. She's gone. She's gone. She's gone. And so literally the last words that my mom ever said to me was, be the man that God wants you to be. So I'm still doing the therapy. I'm still got my mentors. And I'm going through all this, and my mom's dead. And I'm kind of floating at this point. And what I mean is that my heart is heavy because my mom is dead. And my marriage is broken. And I got this addiction. And I don't think my kids really like me that much. And it's just a lot going on. But my mom said, be the man that God wants you to be. And I was like, yo, like I gotta do that at all cost. Right? Whatever it takes. And so I just started immersing myself back into church. Like I was there, but there's a difference between being there and being there and being present and being, available. So at this time, in between times, the old pastor had passed away, and we got a new pastor who was a younger dude, who's about my age or whatever. And he knew me, I knew him, or whatever, and we would do different things, barbecues and stuff like that. And so he comes up to me or calls me one day, and he said, "Hey man, I need you to be one of my guys. I need you to be a deacon." And I was like, "Bruh, I don't think you know what I'm going through here." And he like the pastor is a real dude. He a real dude, right? He said, "Do you think for 1 second that I don't know you fucking up? But every deacon I got a story. I need you because I could trust you. I know you got my back. God will work everything else out." So I thought about it for like 2 days. And I was like, I guess this is part of be the man that God wants me to be, right? So I messed around. I was like, all right, I'll do it. So sure enough, ceremony day comes, and I'm in the church, and at the ceremony, it's a huge church, a huge black church in San Diego, right? And all the former deacons are there, and I'm on my knees. And the pastor finally comes and he puts his hands on me, bro. He puts his hands on my head. And when he put his hands on my head, I had an out-of-body experience. It's the best way I can explain it. It was like God was saying, it's okay. And I cried more than I had ever cried. I cried more than I cried when my mama died. Like just tears, bro. Because I literally heard God say, it's going to be okay. It's the only time I will ever say I've ever heard God's voice. But he said, it's going to be okay. And I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know how I was going to show up. I just know I heard God's voice say it's going to be okay. It wasn't the pastor because he was saying something else.
Right.
And I'm sobbing like crazy, bro. But I was sobbing so much that afterwards, some of the ladies came up to me and was like, "Man, you was crying. It was making me cry." Right? Like I was sobbing, bro.
It's funny how when men cry, sometimes it makes people either uncomfortable or it makes them be like, "Well, dang. I mean, like I ain't never seen him. Like you got me crying.
Like, what are you holding on to?
Yeah,
right?
like what's going on? Like what you processing up there? What was going through your mind? Like it speaks a lot to like, wow. He just let go.
Yeah.
And so whatever was going on in his mind, whatever he experienced, that had to have been powerful.
All of it, bro. It was an amazing like feeling. Like I could see it right now. You know what I'm saying? And like it was just like this glow. I'm sitting here crying. My eyes are closed, and I hear the voice.
Did it feel like a release as in crying? Did it feel like it was a release of a lot of anger and hurt that you've been holding on to? No?
You know what it was? It felt like the crying and everything was inconsequential. Hearing God's voice was like finally hearing my dad. It was like literally like all the stuff that I had been waiting for my dad to say to me. It was all in those couple of words. Literally all of it. Every last bit of it.
That's heavy, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
like
heavy.
Like all that, all that stuff that I was saying from 3 years old and he didn't talk to me, and then in 12 I saw him that one time, and then 16 when then I wanted to punch him in the face and all that, and then all that stuff, and then at 18
and then all of a sudden it just came to a head.
And it literally, those words, it's gonna be okay. And I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. And mind you, up to that point, I had called myself having already forgiven him. But it was something different with the words, man. Like I said, it was like it was the words that I had been waiting for from my dad. And it just boom. And I think the tears came because I finally was able to let it go. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so now I'm a deacon and I'm doing church stuff.
I knew you were going to say I'm doing church stuff.
Yeah, just church stuff. And as I'm this deacon, and like I want to say maybe like 9 months in, I get an opportunity to get a job that I didn't even apply for in Concord, North Carolina.
Oh, wow.
Right. I had my resume online. I had been trying to get a job. I had been trying to get management positions and everything like that.
This is in the church, or is this?
This is no. I had been like trying to find a job, like because I'm working for the telephone company. So now I have a trade. Right. And so I'm trying to transfer those skills to more money. And I have been looking for more money, but the money wasn't money in San Diego for whatever reason.
Right.
And then after 2017 out the blue, I get this phone call. Hey, we're looking at your resume. It looks great. We want to offer you this job. All right, where's the job? Oh, plenty of places. You can be in Florida. You can be in North Carolina. You could be here. You could be here. I was like, well, where in North Carolina? They was like, we got Matthews. Where's that? It's a suburb of Charlotte. Oh, Charlotte sounds good. That's not too far from Greensboro. I know Greensboro. All right, yeah, that sounds good. How much you paying? More money than I've ever could have thought about in my life at that point. And I was like, sign me up, Scotty. Right. So I was like, well, I said,
get me up out of here. You know no need to stay here anymore.
But I was like, yo, I got to ask my wife, but it sounds intriguing. Told the wifey, and she says, and I quote, you go, I go. All right, cool. So I'm like, hey, man, sounds good. Dude says, all right, I'm going to call you back. Calls me back. Their job is no longer available. Now they have a job in, what was it? Concord. Well, what the hell is Concord? Suburb of Charlotte. Okay. All right. Not too far. Cool. All right. Sounds good. I think I'm going to do that. All right. I'm going to get back to you the next day. Didn't hear from the dude for 2 weeks.
Oh, my goodness.
And I'm like, what the hell's going on, bro? Like, this dude got me sized up, man. And I'm like telling the wifey I'm getting amped and nothing, right? Dude finally calls me back. Says, sorry about that. Things were going hella crazy and hectic and everything like that. Finally got you locked down. If you're still interested, I got you. China Grove, North Carolina. Where the hell is China Grove, North Carolina? Suburb of Charlotte. All right. Let's do it. Right? When can you be here? Well, when do you need me? Well, can you be here on Monday? Bro, wait, hold up. Monday? It's Thursday. I'm in San Diego. Nah, you're going to have to give me 2 weeks. All right, you can do 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, I had to quit my job, find a house here, get my wife's stuff in order, and then get about there. Oh, and by the way, kids are still in school. They got They got 1 month of school left.
Oh, man.
So I come out here, and I'm basically out here by myself for a month. And I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure out the lay of the land and everything like that. Talking to the wife every night. She's getting the kids. She's still packing up. And everybody at the church is helping her pack up and get everything together. And we get everything packed up. And she gets out here. And bro, for the first 2 months, everything was so dope. I was making more money than I ever had. She didn't have to work, no nothing. And then I get a call on a Friday morning. And the dude says, hey, I'm just letting you know that this will be your last week working. Wait, what? It was like, yeah, that's how contracts go, man. Sometimes they just, they end. I said, well, wait, you told me that I was going to be at least a year. And it was like, yeah, but there's still work. It's just not work in China Grove. Well, where to work at? Well, you can go to like Dahlonega, Georgia, or you can go to Alachua, Florida, or where. I'm like, what? But I just moved my whole family out to North Carolina. Well, I mean, that's just how the thing goes. So I had to pack up. So I packed up myself, left. I wasn't going to move my family again. Couldn't do that. It was too much. It was too much. My son was in 10th grade. My youngest daughter, I want to say, was in 5th grade. My oldest was already out the house. I couldn't move them after 2 months, bro.
Right.
So I'm like, God, I'm trying to be the man that you want me to be. I'm doing, I feel like what's best for my family. You couldn't have moved me out here for me to fail. Just so I could leave again, but whatever, I had to go. So I chose Alachua, Florida, only because it's a suburb of Gainesville, and I was like, it's a college town. Maybe there'll be something to do out there. I go on Facebook, and I'm like, hey, does anybody know anybody in Gainesville? All my family starts blowing me up, dog. They're like, hey, you know that your cousin is the provost of the University of Florida. I said, what? She was like, yeah, she's the provost of the University of Florida. I said, really? Called her up. I said, hey, cuz, look, this was going on, boom, boom, boom. She was like, I got a 3,300 square foot house. It's just me there. You can use that room over there for free.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Wow.
Cool. So now I'm in Florida. Family's in Charlotte. But mind you, me and my wife are just mending. We're still in the mending stage of things, right?
Right.
We're working it out, but we're in the mending stage.
Right,
and
right.
She still has trust issues, deservedly so.
Yep.
Right? And so I'm still trying to, like, let loose of all of my stuff. So now I haven't cheated since she found out everything. Mm-hmm. We're 2 years later, but I'm still in contact with a lot of the people who I was still messing with, right? And this is important. I'm gonna get back to that. So, I go to Florida. I'm there for a month. A job opens up back in Concord, same company that I was contracting with, but I basically can go back full time and be with my family, but they're cutting $10 an hour out of what I'm making currently, bro. $10 an hour and all the overtime that I was working. I had a brand new truck, had to get rid of that. Had a motorcycle, had to get rid of that. The house that we were renting, had to move to an apartment. Like, I'm just giving up stuff. I'm just releasing stuff, all types of just stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, God, like, you wanted me to be here. I don't understand. I need you to talk to me, man. So, 2018 New Year's, we go to the praise party at Elevation. And I'm like, yo, this is kind of dope. I
love how that happens to all of us. I used to think it was just a me thing, and it was like everybody I'm talking to, they're like, "Yo," and I went to Elevation, and that was kind of dope. This is like, wait a minute,
this is kind of dope. Yeah. I was like, but you know what, man? Look, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Because I don't like.
Which location did you go to? By the way,
I was at UC.
UC, okay, UC praise party. Okay,
I went and I was like, yo, this is dope, bro. But I'm going to be 100% with you. The whole white pastor thing, bro.
I'm not messing with you, bro.
I don't know.
So wait, you've never seen a white pastor before?
He ain't never been my pastor. I've seen several of them. He ain't never been my pastor. My pastor always been a black dude. Always.
Okay.
So
sound like we need to have another therapy session.
So I'm like, look, I'm willing to make this leap. But I need to go see the dude in person.
Oh.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Okay, wait. Look, I'm sitting here thinking you're talking about campus pastor. And I'm like, no. You're talking about Stephen Furtick.
I'm talking about Stephen Furtick. I don't know nothing about this dude. My wife listens to him all the time, and she calls him a fiery preacher, and he's all this. I don't know this dude.
Right.
I don't know nothing about him. I just know he's a white pastor with a big old church with several campuses. Right? You know what I'm saying? I got trust issues.
Clearly.
All right.
Yes, definitely.
All right. So, like, yeah, man, like, come on now. So, sure enough, man, I'm like, I got to go. I need to see this dude in person. I need to see what he about. Because I'm a really good judge of character. And if I feel the phony, I'm out. We ain't going there. Okay? So I go to the campus, and you know how elevation, man, the parking people is smiling around there. You know what I'm saying? So I get there and come to find out that the lady who's in the parking that was going to walk us up to the door was from Orange County. Bro, that's 2 hours away from where I grew up. Yo, we kinfolk. We Southern California kinfolk. West Side, all that, right? Cool. So I'm like, hey, man, like I'm excited to be here. I came to see the pastor. She was like, oh, man, the pastor's not here this week. What? I done drove all the way down here, and the pastor ain't even here. So I'm salty, right? I'm like, I'm wasting time. Because my whole thing was to check out this dude who I don't know nothing about, right? She's like, nah, but the guest pastor, man, he's like really good. Heard about him, but I don't know his name. I'm like, all right, whatever. So Elevation goes through the thing. They do the praise and worship. And I'm like, all these songs suck. This does not sound like Donnie McClurkin. This does not sound like Fred Hammond. This does not sound, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
That's how praise and worship was at my church in San Diego.
I'm piecing all of it together now.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it was. And I'm throwing all the salt, like all of it. You know what I mean? So then finally they do the introduction of the pastor that's going to be there, right? And they're like, all the way from Houston, Texas, Keon Henderson. And I'm like, what? Bro, Keon Henderson is my pastor's brother in San Diego.
What? Yeah, it's one of those moments where you're just like, yeah, I'm salty. I hate this place. You know, I don't even know why I'm here. Wait a minute. What did they just say?
Bruh,
wait a minute. Hold on.
Bruh.
Hold on. That's not who I think it is.
Bro, Keon comes up, and I text my pastor back and saying, I said, bro, your brother's here? He's like, oh, yeah, he's doing a guest minister. I was like, and I look up in the sky. In that moment, I said, I hear you loud and clear. This is where God wanted me to be. And he reassured me by showing me that I got family in here. Okay. But I'm not driving to Valentine no more. Because that's too far. Right? So my wife was like, why don't we go back to that campus that we was at? The UC one. I'm like, all right, cool. So sure enough, man, I was going. And then, you know, how Pastor Furtick does, man, they pushing e-groups like crazy, man. Like it's that thing, right?
Okay, but you know what, though? Hold on. Let's just revert back real quick. Because I don't want anybody to get the thought that let's just clear up a rumor that I don't want anybody to get the thought that they can just roll up to Valentine and meet Pastor Stephen Furtick.
No. No, that's not how it goes down.
Look here. So Pastor Stephen Furtick, he loves his congregation.
Yes, he does.
But the way things have been set up due to the 80-20 rule, which is 80% crazy people in this world, 20% sane people. He is no longer meeting guests right now in that way.
Nah.
But you can catch him in the local grocery store, possibly, or at the local gym, or pulling out of a parking lot. But yeah, so you're not going, because it don't work that way. So I don't want people thinking, so I just got to pull up and I can meet.
No. You can meet the campus pastor.
Campus pastor,
the campus pastor. You can
JJ is awesome.
Hey man,
he would love to meet you over there at Valentine.
Come on now.
And then you got Pastor Chet over at University. He'd love to meet you.
Hey,
Matter of fact, he's not waiting for you to meet him. He's coming to meet you.
Absolutely.
He's definitely stepping to you.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, no. I just wanted to put that. I wanted to put that disclaimer out there for everybody's like. So I just got to pull up there.
No. Nah, not at all.
Okay, continue. My bad.
Yeah, so you know, they be pushing the e-groups and everything like that. And they were like, you need to get in one and get connected. And mind you, those words that my mama told me is still ringing in my ear. Be the man that God wants you to be.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, well, I guess I can go and join an e-group. And so at the time, the e-group's director at UC her name was Katie. And so my wife introduced me to Katie, and she's like, okay, so what E-group, what works best for you? And I was like, Tuesday evenings. And I was like, is there any men groups? She was like, no, but you can start one. What?
Yeah.
I can do what?
Yeah.
You can start one. I'm like, but that wasn't in the contract. I didn't ask for that. I just wanted to join one. She was like, no, just start one. And I was like, but I don't know. What am I supposed to do? Oh, the Lord will walk you through it.
Ain't that funny how it keeps being a reverend? Be the man that God wants you to be. I got you. The Lord will help you. Man, listen to me.
Right.
It's crazy when he won't. It's funny how when people are looking for God to speak the way he's spoken before, sometimes they missed it. He'll speak through other people. And it's like, whoa, okay, well, I missed that one. But no, go ahead. It's good. I like this.
It's me like that. And she's like, all right, yeah, you could name your group and everything. So what do you want the name of your group to be? And I'm like, the Kings of UC. Oh, I like that. Okay, Kings of UC. Okay, boom, boom. So now my wife, mind you, when I was gone in Florida working for those 2 months, she had met a bunch of people around the Charlotte area in like Facebook groups because she needed community. Mm-hmm. So she did groundwork, bro, and she started meeting a bunch of married couples and this, that, and the other, right?
Yeah.
She's meeting these married couples, and sure enough, man, I started inviting all their husbands to the E-group. So all these married women that she done met, I just invited the husbands to it. So when I started out my E-group, I had like 12 people. What was we doing? I was just finding stuff.
Right? Just pulling stuff out of the air. I was just,
just finding stuff, lessons and stuff. But it was dope stuff. You know? It was finding stuff. And man, it started out really, really strong, and then it got down to about 3 people. And I was like, yo, I feel like, God, this is what you want me to do, but it's not really grouping the way I wanted to group. And I think that at that moment, God was like, I just need you to understand that at this moment, I'm still working on you. And so this is for you. And don't worry about the people. I'll bring them. Okay.
That's deep.
All right.
That's deep.
So, man, I'm doing this stuff. And mind you, I told you, now I'm going to get back because I'm always going to bring it back. Mm-hmm. I told you I was still talking to these some of the women on the side, you know, I wasn't having sex with them.
Right.
But I'm still, because I was used to when I had a thing, I would go to, you know,
like safety net.
So, me and my wife were having this conversation, and she's like, something's off with her. And I'm like, what's going on? She was like, I don't understand why you still in communication with these people. And mind you, I told you, I'm not lying to this woman no more, right? Them days is over with. And I'm just like, yo, like, I don't understand. And she was like, you could come to me and talk to me about anything. And I'm just like, yo, like, I'm just comfortable. I don't know. It's just like, whatever. She was like, you need to find a way to let him go. And at that moment, I was like, I haven't, as much work as I had done to get to a certain place, what I hadn't done is giving my wife that 20% back. I still have my wife on the 80-20 rule. So I had literally did the work, figured out the root cause, did the healing, but I did the healing of the 80%. I didn't do the 100% work. The 100% was letting them go and basically being like, this woman across from me who could have left but hasn't left, who wants a relationship with me, I need to be able to give her all of my heart and trust that the work that we do together is going to be enough. That's just it. And so I worked to get her that 100%. And as I'm working to give her that 100%, you know what started happening? The group started growing again. And so as I'm slowly but surely letting go of all the things, I'm making room for God to do his work. Right. And so now the group is growing back again and again and again and again. And I'm like, yo, but I still got this thing, man. Because now I'm not talking to these women no more. I still got this itch though. Like that the addiction is still there. And so I started getting into porn. And I'm getting into porn heavy. And I'm watching it all the time, and I'm still going through the ups and downs of my job and this and that and the other. And man, God is funny.
Isn't he? Oh, man. And I think some people like, what do you mean he's funny? You can't just say that. Man, listen to me. I can only imagine what you laughing at, but man, he's got a sense of humor sometimes where you just be like, are you a funny guy, huh? You a comedian, huh? Now you a comedian.
Yeah. This is so what's funny is, okay, so I'm at the job. I'm doing the work. I'm got this e-group and it's growing. And at the job, they hadn't given like raises for I want to say 20 years. So the top pay was the top pay. So we got a new CEO. CEO comes in and he wants to come to our shop because our shop is the biggest money maker in the entire company. He comes and he brings all of the CFO and everybody right with him. And he's like, yeah, so blah, 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 blah. And because we value you as employees and want to show you our commitment to you, from now till you hit top pay, every year, 8% raises. Excuse me? 8% raises until you hit top pay. It just so happens that top pay in the job was the money that I came over here making initially. So sure enough, January 1st, 8%. Mind you, remember I took a $10 cut.
Right.
I was almost homeless during that portion. And when I tell you that story, it's going to floor you, by the way. It's going to floor you.
Wait, no worries. We just over by an hour. Let's make it happen now.
But now I'm starting to get this pay. So my money's getting back and my group is growing. But I still got this thing, right? Still got this thing, and I'm trying to figure it out. And so I was like, I need to go to AA. But I have tools now. And there's things out there that can get me to where I need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start another e-group for porn addicts. I don't know if there's any here, but there's resources that I can use that can get me the tools that I need. And I said, God, I trust you. I don't have money because there's this thing called Soul Refiner online. In Soul Refiner, one of the things that they do is very specific to people with porn addiction, but it's like $50 a month. And I was like, I really ain't got $50 to be sparing, but God, I trust you to get the money somehow. And so I started my e-group and we were going to do the Soul Refiner series. And I had 6 people that first group, and we just started doing the group, and the group grew a little bit. And then something happened where I had 1 month of living money left. Now we stay in this apartment. This apartment place has like an attendant, breakfast attendant. So you can get breakfast in the morning, right? And you're not cooking anything really. It's just an attendant. They have a weekend attendant and a weekday attendant. The weekend attendant gets money off. The weekday attendant gets more money off their rent. Okay. So my wife's not working. Something comes up and the weekend attendant says she's leaving and she wants my wife to be the replacement so we can get some money off. Now we don't have to be homeless. But the weekday attendant has somebody else in mind. And so when it came down to it, the weekday attendant had more pull and the person that she wanted got that job. And I'm like, God, man, we're about to get kicked out of this apartment. We ain't got nowhere to go. We don't have no resources down here. The very next week, the week day attendant announced that she was moving. And my wife slid into that job. She got $900 off the rent every month.
What?
Every month, bro. So now I ain't got God took that burden off of me. So now I can focus on my e-groups and getting back my relationship with him.
Nice.
Right? And I could do it. And I'm getting these 8% raises every year, slowly but surely, right?
Right.
And so I'm doing this e-group and I'm learning so much. And now, bro, it's just amazing where we're at. The men's e-group has on and off about 35 men in it. We have 9 leaders that teach lessons inside the group. We do Bible study for a reason, very specific to Bible study. And then on every Thursday, I do my porn addiction e-group, and we're just learning about the addiction and what God has to say about it and things of that nature. And it's just been amazing. And by the way, we've been in Charlotte since 2017. It's 2023.
Right.
We've become marriage counselors, marriage coaches. We do individual coaching with individuals, and my marriage has never been better. And I've actually been flown out to San Diego to tell my story. I've done a podcast where I've told my story. Man, I share my testimony all the time, bro. And the one thing that I'll say to people is that God is real. He just wants you to meet him halfway because he's already there. Mm-hmm. He's already put in his 50%. He's just waiting for you to do yours. And if you open the door, he'll find you, bro. And the things that he'll do along the way to get you where you need to get, it's just, man, it's when you tell people, they're like, how did all of this happen?
Right, because it logically doesn't make any sense. It's hard for people to fathom, like, yo, how in the world?
It's a God story, bro. My marriage still being, my wife not leaving. That's a God story, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like me going through this transition, me moving here and not getting, like, being homeless when I got all that money taken away from me. That's a God story, bro. Right. We're getting a house built right now, dude. We're getting a house built.
Wow. Wow. Congrats on that, man.
Like, man, it's all a God story, man. And it's just like my life is a testimony, and I'm as blunt as I'm being with you, as blunt as I'm with them dudes, man. But then I read the Bible every day and I have a better understanding of it now. Right. And so I can, all those years of church that I had when I was 3 years old and when I was 7, it's all coming back. And now, man, it's just, it's amazing. It's amazing where things are for me. It's amazing what my life has been. And I'll continue on every level to do this work, man.
Well, here, because you can't just say all that and not tell. So tell men who may be listening, because most of your e-groups are virtual.
Yes, they are.
So tell men how they can join your e-group, no matter where they are in the country. And you may have to break it down for them, because I actually went on there today to locate and just kind of like read up on all your e-groups, just because I remember when I initially saw it, but it took me going back to say, okay, let me just. So tell men how they can tap in with you.
Well, if you go to Elevation, just the regular website, right?
Yep.
They have the e-groups tab. So you click the e-groups tab, and then you can like do it on campus or you can do it online. But I'm associated with the UC campus.
So you have to choose university.
Yep, university.
You got to choose university to find his e-group.
Yeah, and then once you do that, just go to men's. Just type in men's.
Yep.
And then boom, you'll see me there. You'll see my name. You'll see my big old head, man. You know what I'm saying? And you can find me, bro.
Yep. And that's accurate, because I literally just took those same exact steps today, and I chose university as the campus. I chose men to be gender specific. And then sure enough, when you go down the list, I saw both of them, Kings of UC, and there was what's the other one called?
It's just a porn addiction. Yeah, like it's like the first lesson that we did was like the 20 things that you need to know.
20 truths.
Yeah,
there it is. Yep.
So I just didn't change the name of it because it just sounded good. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah, I mean, it definitely was like, okay, sounds very interesting.
Yeah.
So no. I, for anybody who may be listening, if as I'm sure parts of this story, different parts, maybe certain sort of resonate with your story. But if you're experiencing any of that stuff, if you're currently dealing with any of those things where you're trying to still kind of like piece things together or figure it out, there's nothing like having community where you can go and you can sit with other men who can say, yes, I am struggling with this, but I don't want to struggle with it anymore. And I need the tools to be able to work through this.
Yes, sir.
So no. I definitely hope that my community can tap in with yours, just especially in as far as men looking for community, because that's what this is all about. Men looking for community, men finding community here in these stories, men finding community here in these different conversations. So yeah, no, bro, I appreciate your vulnerability today, because you just gave me 2 hours of vulnerability. And I think you've hit the record for like just really being able to share your story. And it's funny how a lot of your story resonates with me. So I'm pretty sure once we get off the air, I'm going to like kind of like just be like, bro, okay, so like I'm just curious. I got more questions.
Yeah.
But no. I appreciate everybody like sitting in with us today, man. I appreciate you coming and sitting down with me again today, brother.
Bro.
This was truly a blessing. This resonated with me on so many levels for people who know my story, and they're like, yo, that was whoa, that too. And so that's I tell people that's normally how it is when it comes to like men dealing with like their stories, going through their stories and stuff like that. So bro, I appreciate you sitting with me today, man. Thank you so much for your time.
My brother, first of all, man, love your platform. Love it, dude. You know what I'm saying? It's an incredible place, man. And I'm glad that you're doing this work, man. And secondly, I'll say this to everybody. If you're dealing with something, go get you some help. Professional help. God put those people on the earth for a reason.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He got those degrees for them for a reason.
Right.
Go seek help.
Yeah.
It's okay, man.
Yeah.
Because you ain't gonna be the first one, man.
And to even add to that, seek help out. Don't feel like you're stepping outside of your church or out of God's will to seek help from those professionals. Because like he just said, God put those professionals here for you to find help in them. So yeah. No, I appreciate you saying that before we leave out, because that's so important, because that was something I struggled with. So I'm glad you said that before we left out of here, man. But awesome. Hey, listen, if you guys, like I said, if you guys want to tap in with my brother Jamal, it's Jamal Stewart-Cook. You can look him up online. You can definitely check in if you're interested in his e-groups. You can definitely find him, and you don't even have to be here in the Charlotte area. You can tap in with them from San Diego if you know him and you remember him from San Diego. So no, definitely tap in with what he's doing, man. What he's doing is a lot of great work. Like he's living up to what his mother asked him to do and what God wanted him to do, to be the man that God called him to be.
That's it. So
I'm so glad, brother, that you were able to understand what God was calling you into and step into that arena. And I'm excited about like hearing more about your e-groups, which we're gonna talk about when we get off the air. But bro, appreciate you. Thank you again,
my
brother.
Dude, man.
It's been a pleasure, man.
It's
been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, hey guys, listen, thank y'all so much for joining us. We'll talk to you again on the next episode. All right. Y'all be blessed.
We appreciate you listening today and hope that if you enjoyed this episode, you'll like and subscribe and also listen to past episodes. We hope to bring you great future content as well. Please comment your thoughts on this episode as well as leave any prayer requests below so that this community can pray alongside you. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook at God's Glory and Men's Real Stories.
Brothers, we understand how the thoughts of even facing your own past and current story and the pain and hurt that come along with this is no easy task. But you're not alone, as you hear in these episodes. Nor has God forgotten you or left your side, as He's in it with you, fighting alongside you through the storms of life. He loves and has already forgiven you, no matter what you have done, and He wants a relationship with you. Your healing, freedom, and growth are important to God, and to us as well. Maybe you're considering giving up or need someone to talk to. Here are a few resources that already exist that we hope can shine a light into that dark place you're in. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline number is 1-800-273-8255. If you need support but are not in crisis, consider reaching out to a warm line with individuals who would love to talk with you. Speaking to someone on these calls is typically free and confidential and run by people who understand what it's like to struggle in life. Find a local number by going to warmline.org.